There is this movie coming out, or I don't know if it came out yet, called They're Going to Kill You. No, I'm not gonna watch it because in the trailer it pretty much showed the movie. It pretty much showed the movie. Basically, it's like Ready or Not. For those of you who do not know Ready or Not, which has a sequel coming out, I believe it either came out or it's coming out this month. Basically, Hide and Seek was about a bride who married into a family. And they said, "Oh, we have to do one more thing. You could choose the game, hide and seek." Well, yeah, it's called. Well, not the hide and seek. It's called Ready or Not. Excuse me. I don't know if I already said that. I don't know. So it's Ready or Not. She chooses the game hide and seek. She later finds out that she is an offering for a sacrificial ritual for immortality, and that the main patriarch made a deal with the devil, and every so often they have to do a ritualistic sacrifice. Otherwise, everyone in the family will explode. Pretty much it. In the end, she wins. Of course, they all think, "Oh my god, it was fake, it was fake." Nope. It turns out, hey, you didn't fulfill your end of the bargain. This is what happens. Which is kind of sad because one of the siblings had children. And unfortunately, the children shared the same fate. Which is kind of sad because, well, it's not kind of, it is sad. Because it was like, they didn't do anything wrong. They were born into it. But, aside from any sentimental and thoughts about that kind of thing, the patriarch comes out as a phantom and nods to the young lady and goes, "Well done," and then disappears in a heap of fire. And she's like, "Huh." So basically, this movie is almost like Ready or Not, except they're going to kill you. So pretty much like that family, they made a deal, and the new girl that has gone to this work at this hotel has become the offering. And all of the members, all of the people who work for the hotel know about this, and I don't know if they can leave or not. I'm not too sure. I don't know the full story. Haven't watched it. But it turns out this girl is not to be messed with. She came from prison because in the trailer, that same trailer, one of the employees had asked her, "Where'd you learn to fight?" And she goes, "Prison." And you see her fighting in prison. What she was doing there in prison, who knows? But she's not one to be messed with. I think it was a little kid, goes in to attack her, and she goes, "You little and slaps him so hard. Oh. And then Patricia Arquette, who was in the movie, there's a scene where this girl, I don't know her name, but she played Domino in Deadpool 2, and she also played the supposed love interest or the crush in the Joker starring Joaquin Phoenix. She was also in, what was it? Earth to Mary or Mary on the Moon. I don't know. It starred Natalie Portman, and she was in it too. And John Hamm, Ed Hamm, he was in he was in Mad Men, and he was also in Neighbors. Oh no, Keeping Up with the Joneses, and he played God in Good Omens. He played in other movies too. I can't think of them, but yeah, he was there too. In that movie too. So this young lady has a couple movies on the belt. She starred with a few A-list stars, and so she's the starring role in this film. And when Patricia Arquette sees her, she's all like, obviously she's been through hell, and she's like, "Who are you?" I don't know if the girl said anything or anything like that. If it was me, I would just say, "Your worst effing nightmare, B." That's the most badass line I can do. "Your worst effing nightmare, B." A little bit of Freddy Krueger in it. Um, yeah. that movie's coming out. I don't want to watch it. It doesn't grab my attention. What does grab my attention is part 2 of Mortal Kombat. I'd like to see that movie. That movie's coming out next month. That movie is coming out next month. You have Johnny Cage in it. My question is, because in the first movie, only those who had the dragon mark, or the mark of the dragon, were allowed to be in the tournament. So Sonya knew about it. In the first movie, Sonya didn't have the mark. The only way to get the mark is if it is either passed down through birth or through the bloodline, and the bloodline did not get killed off. Cole, I think Cole, yes, Cole. It was Cole. So Cole had been born with that mark. So that automatically made him, into the tournament. Sonya did not have the mark until she X'd out Kano, and then she ended up getting the mark. But I remember she wanted to train, but Liu Kang very kindly says, unfortunately, because you do not have the mark, you do not bear it, you cannot train with us. You are not part of the tournament. But she later becomes part of the tournament because she 86 Kano and things like that. So my question is, does Johnny Cage have the mark? Someone had said, well, in one of the games, he had a huge tattoo of the dragon mark, and therefore he was in it. I don't know about that. I mean, it's been a while since I played the games. The one time I ever played the game was like the first and last time I ever played it was on Super Nintendo. I don't know what character I played the most. I think his name was Baraki, the one with the guy with the spears. And it came out, I can't remember. Baraki, that's his name, yeah. He had these spears, these metal spears or swords that came out. He's in the movie. He's in the movie and things like that. So my question is, does Johnny Cage have that mark, or is it to a point where it's become desperate times just a measure? Because in the trailer it goes, if we lose one more time, that's it. That's it. Earth is done for. So is it to a point where he's just chosen because they like his... Because in the games and also in the movie, in the 1995 movie, where you had Liu Kang, Sonya, and Johnny Cage, who were just basically chosen by, oh my god, Shin Lao? It's been a while, guys. I'm sorry. But they get chosen by, the bad guy. And then Raiden goes, you guys are fighting for Earth. Yes, you were chosen by him to be a part of this, but you guys are fighting for something. You guys are fighting for Earth. You guys lose one more time. That's it. It's over. It's over. So it looks like in this movie, part 2, which I'm surprised the first one did so well because it was streaming. Now this is being released in theaters. So like I said, does Johnny Cage have the mark? Or like I said, is it desperate times call for desperate measures? And therefore they chose him because of his... because he's good at, martial arts. Not only that, there's also a scene in the trailer where Kano is being sort of pinned down or held down by some person in armor. I don't know who he is. We'll have to check and see. But he's like sort of pinned down in armor and things of that nature. And what else? He's pinned down in nature. He's got his, and he goes, you don't even have powers. And Johnny Cage kind of goes, just insanely handsome. He's like, no, but just insanely handsome. And of course, he was also a smart mouth, a smart aleck. He was a smart aleck. But I don't know. It'll be nice to see because he was an action star. In the second trailer that was coming out, you do see him down on his luck. He's a has-been. And it was a guy who goes, hey, you're Johnny Cage. And he goes, that was back in the 90s, kid. I'm not anymore, And then when he meets Raiden and Sonya, he goes, you got a bunch of diehard fans. Like, I think you guys can go. And then that's when Raiden goes to the door to the dimension, and Sonya goes, "Are you coming or not?" So, also in the first movie, it was pretty clear that they were going to go to him anyway. They'll go get him. But I don't know why or how they found him. I don't know how, but they found him. They found him. Yeah, so that's my question. Does he bear the mark? Or like I said, which I think that's what comes down to it. Desperate times call for desperate measures. Also, it looks like characters from the first film that was killed off. Sub-Zero and, oh my god, I don't know his name, but he had the hat. And throw the hat and it will spin and everything like a what was it? Shoot, I used to take wood shop, and I knew these handsaw, yeah, yes, handsaw. It would do like a handsaw. Is it a handsaw? Anyway, the hat would slice through and things of that nature. And so it looks like he's back because he died in the first one, but in the trailer it looks like he's back, and he is facing off with Liu Kang, who's a bit confused. At the same time, in the trailer it says, those that were lost will come again in a new form. Which, if I remember correctly, that was said at the end of the movie when Sub-Zero was defeated. And he goes, "You may have killed my fighters, but just know that they will come back in a new form. All tournament fighters will come back, but will come back not as they were." So kind of like a phoenix. But when a phoenix rises from the ashes, it's a different phoenix. That kind of thing. Kind of like the Doctor. When the Doctor regenerated, he was a new Doctor. He didn't come back as, like David Tennant regenerated to Matt Smith. 10 The 10th Doctor was played by David Tennant. And when David Tennant's reign had ended in 2010, Matt Smith came the 11th Doctor. The 11th hour is what the episode was called. So, obviously, 11 was not 10. This was a total different Doctor with his own quirks and his own personality and his own likes and dislikes. Because each Doctor had their own persona, their own personality. Which was kind of funny because I was never a fan of Doctor Who until I saw Matt Smith. And Matt Smith was the only Doctor that I seemed to have an attachment to, because none of the Doctors before him or after him gave that sort of choice. He said, "Hey, come with me, let's have some fun on these adventures, let's be friends, let's face the enemy together." David Tennant never gave me that. His Doctor, I kind of felt like if I met this Doctor in real life, I think I'd be... Because the way he conducted himself at times was just completely uncool. So with me, I probably would have go you know what? Screw you. Christopher Eccleston's Doctor was a Doctor where he wanted to be human, but I couldn't sort of latch on to him. When I saw Matt Smith, it was something about him that just made me latch on to him. At the same time, I didn't know Doctor Who was an alien. I thought he was a detective. Because when I moved from Japan to the States and they showed a commercial for Doctor Who, they didn't show it as a sci-fi thing. They showed it as he was a detective and Rose was his assistant. They were solving cases all in London. I remember at one point they were looked like they were being run down by a double-decker bus. And it made it look like a detective show. Kind of like Elementary, but not like Elementary. And then, come to find out, oh no, it's a sci-fi show about aliens. It was the second episode where Rose goes to see the Earth get blown up or that gets destroyed because it's time to go. So I didn't think he was an alien. I just thought he was some sort of scientist or something. He, like Doc Brown. Only to find out the more I watched not David Tennant, the more I watched Matt Smith and I did some research, I realized, oh, he's a Time Lord. He's an alien. He regenerates. Because I remember seeing the first episode of Matt Smith. I'm like, what happened to the other guy? What happened to David Tennant? What happened to him? Did he get killed off or something? I thought it was passed down. Before I found out that he was a Time Lord, I thought it was passed down. Like, hey, I don't want to do this anymore. Here you go. You're taking the reins. I thought it was passed down. I thought it was given. Come to find out, no, he's an alien. He's a Time Lord. And when they reach the end of their lifespan, they regenerate into a new person, kind of like a phoenix. And there you go. So, yeah. Yeah, that's about it. Can't think of it. I really appreciate a lot of support that I have been getting from you guys. I understand the last video was, a Debbie Downer. Like I said, I'm pretty vocal about how I feel. But I keep that to myself because not a lot of people understand it, and a lot of people they use that against you and they troll you on it. It's just, yeah. But I do greatly appreciate a lot of you out there who were showing me some support. I do appreciate that a lot, so thank you so much. It's nice to know that not only am I not in the same boat, but it's nice to know that, other people understand where I'm coming from. It's nice to know that I'm not alone in that, so I do greatly appreciate that. So thank you for your support and kindness. I greatly appreciate that. And yeah, like I said, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I don't know what else to say other than thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, like it's going to take some time. I know some of you out there who have been kind enough to speak to me and things of that nature. That's going to take time. That's something that I'm going to be carrying with me for a while. Yeah, I know a lot of people will say, oh, move on, move on, move on. It's like a scar. A scar doesn't actually heal. It's there, So, and I have a lot of scars, both physical, emotionally, mentally, and all that stuff. So that just doesn't go away. That's going to stick with me for a while. But thank you so much. I greatly appreciate it, like I said before. Also, yeah, I needed something with my hands. I have to have something with my hands. Otherwise, I'll scratch and stuff like that, or do a lot of things you shouldn't be doing that are not very ladylike. But yeah, this is Frankenstein. I got it from some craft show. How to get them. So, yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm not watching They're Gonna Kill You. I'm not watching that. I am gonna watch Mortal Kombat, which is next month, and we're gonna go from there. So you guys have the rest of your day, and I hope to hear from you all soon. Bye.